We carry our entire lives on our smartphones. Our bank accounts, our busy schedules, our private messages. It's all in our pockets. But the moment we need to sit down and do real work, we still have to switch over to a laptop, constantly jumping between two completely different environments. Google is attempting to solve this with the Pixel 10. By focusing on a new software paradigm, they are trying to remove the boundary between mobile and desktop computing. This takes the form of a native desktop mode. When you plug a USB-C cable from the Pixel 10 into an external monitor, the interface shifts into a fully windowed environment. You get a taskbar, resizable windows, and overlapping apps, all running directly from the device in your hand. The advantage here is continuity. You can connect to a monitor to edit a high-resolution photo using a mouse and keyboard, then simply unplug the cable and post that same file to social media from your phone. Because the data never leaves the device, there's no need for cloud syncing or file transfers. By allowing the software to adapt to the screen it's connected to, Google has made the phone the single execution point for both mobile tasks and professional workflows. But consolidating your entire life into one device creates a new kind of anxiety. If your phone contains everything from work documents to private messages, handing it to someone else to show them a photo feels like a security risk. Android 17 addresses this with a native app lock. It adds a secondary biometric gate to specific applications, requiring a fingerprint or PIN to open your banking or social media apps, even if the rest of the phone is already unlocked. For completely hidden data, Google uses private space. Unlike App Lock, this creates an invisible vault, hidden from your app drawer. App Lock gates your existing profile, but private space isolates data into an entirely separate user profile, keeping files completely partitioned. These multi-layered security gates make the software environment incredibly robust. However, maintaining these active processes and background encryptions requires significant power, which is where the physical hardware begins to struggle. The engine behind this software is the Tensor G5. To improve efficiency, Google moved production to TSMC's 3-nanometer process. Yet, despite this move, the chip's performance still trails behind the Apple A19 and latest Snapdragon processors and multi-core tasks. The problem is the architectural layout. Google chose a top-heavy design that relies on a single massive Cortex-X4 core for heavy lifting. While this works for short bursts of AI processing, it lacks the balanced multi-core efficiency needed for sustained high-performance tasks. This means the chip is optimized for quick interactions, but it lacks the thermal endurance to run a desktop operating system for an extended period. We see this limitation during desktop mode. When you try to run multiple overlapping windows, the inefficient core configuration generates heat faster than the phone can dissipate it. To prevent heat damage, the system initiates thermal throttling. It aggressively cuts the clock speed, turning a smooth PC experience into a stuttering mess. The battery is also subject to these physical limitations. Because the phone runs so hot, Google implemented strict measures to protect its chemical health. To reach a 7-year lifespan, the Pixel 10 begins artificially restricting its own charging speed and capacity as few as 200 charge cycles. Essentially, the Pixel software is ready for the future, but it's being held back by a physical body that is aging prematurely. Even if you can look past the hardware issues, there is another restriction. The software features that define the Pixel aren't actually available to everyone. In markets like India, consumers pay a premium for the Pixel 10 Pro due to import duties, often exceeding US prices, yet they receive fewer features. Key selling points like call screening, Gemini tools, and the VPN are entirely absent. The vision of a cohesive, AI-driven ecosystem falls apart when the core software features are gated by region. The Pixel 10 is a fascinating transitional device. It gives us a clear look at a future where one device handles every computing task with high security, but we are still waiting for the hardware and global policies to catch up with the software's goals. Thanks for watching. For more insights to help navigate the digital world, subscribe to Refreshing Tech.